Welcome into Steelers Latest, your daily spot for all news and information related to your Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now, we got a veteran QB dilemma. Who do we go after here? It's Rodgers or Cousins. It seems like those are the two it's going to come down to here this year. As Brown signed Joe Flacco, took them out of the race for Cousins, it seems like. Now the major rumors are that the Steelers might give up on the Rodgers plan and move to a Cousins kind of plan and make a trade happen there. Now, Cousins is a little bit younger than Aaron Rodgers. He's 36. Still no spring chicken though. So I still look at them kind of at the same age level. I know Rodgers 41, technically 5 years older than Kirk Cousins, but I think Rodgers still it's just always kind of been on a higher level than Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins has never had an MVP upside to him. He's had a couple solid 30 plus touchdown seasons, but last year with the Falcons it didn't end really well for him. Again, 5 game stretch, 1 touchdown, 11 interceptions. That's not going to get the job done in the NFL. That won't get the job done in college football. That won't get the job done in high school football. That won't get the job done in Pee Wee football. So, who would I take over in this kind of dilemma we're facing right now with Rodgers and Cousins? Right now, if you can get Rodgers cheaper than 27.5 million, I think his upside is definitely higher than Kirk Cousins, and that is what you'd have to pay him this year, unless you somehow make the Falcons take on that salary cap responsibility like we did with the Broncos and Russell Wilson last year. But I don't see that happening really. And I really do think Rodgers just take a little bit of a pay cut here. You don't need the big bucks anymore. You've played, I don't even know, close over 20 years now, closing in on 20 seasons. You have to have money saved up in the bank. You don't need over 27.5 mil here. So just settle down and stick it out with us. But Cousins is the faster solution. I do feel like Rodgers still holding us up in the air. As we approach draft day, it's hard to tell if he's going to sign beforehand. Only Rodgers knows. And if he knows is still a question in his mind, probably still. But let's talk about some of these QBs in the draft, as right now, I've seen rumors from every different source. All of them have something different for the Steelers. All of them have us taking a quarterback in a different round, a different quarterback in every mock draft. I'm going to lay out the top 3 favorite quarterbacks I have from round to round. So in the first round is Shadur Sanders, of course. That's my guy. Highly athletic. Didn't really have an offensive front in college. I think he'll improve a lot with the NFL caliber offensive line. Once again, able to extend plays. He has a strong arm to get the ball downfield. He was graded the best quarterback in this draft class with throwing the ball beyond the sticks. So I think that would benefit our offense mighty good with GP and DK on the sidelines. Maybe Shadur throwing it up to him a couple times a game. That sounds real nice. But that all depends on if he's there. If he's not, my second round guy or early third round guy. That's how I've seen it being played out this during the mock drafts I've been looking at. But Jalen Milroe, athletic freak, 4.37 speed during the 40-yard dash. Ridiculous. I can't even imagine a quarterback running that fast. But the upside, once again, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Jalen Hurts, you got those types. Those are the ceiling for the player mold of someone like Jalen Milroe. But the floor of that player mold is Anthony Richardson, who really hasn't panned out much in his first couple years in the NFL. Now, does Milroe sitting behind a veteran quarterback maybe help improve his game some? I would hope so. I would believe so. But who knows? He has those accuracy problems. He might rely on his athletics a little too much in the college game. Once again, he had 20 rushing touchdowns his last year. Those are our RB1 numbers. I don't know how your quarterback runs for 20 touchdowns, but he did. The passing stats weren't that spectacular though. So that is the downside of someone like Jalen Milroe. Now, one of my favorite prospects that's been going up my personal board is Will Howard of Ohio State. He led them to the national championship last year. Can't do much better than that. He has that winning mentality. He's a great leader in the locker room, it seems like. He was coaching his high school football team when he went down with injury. Well, no, I think him, if we're going for a long-term if we're going for the sit behind a veteran quarterback kind of route, I think Will Howard's kind of the best choice out of all three of these. But if we don't have that veteran quarterback signed by draft day and Sanders is sitting there at 21, that's definitely really enticing. And then you don't really have to go after the veteran quarterback if you do believe Sanders is as advertised and supposed to change a franchise around and to come in to a franchise like the Steelers that's pretty stable, that's pretty put together that only benefits a rookie quarterback, and that should, if Sanders is there at 21, make him maybe the best quarterback coming out of this draft because it is a lot about the team around you in your first year. But we can only wait to find out as draft day gets ever closer. It is only days away right now. I'm getting really excited. But let's move on to the comment section and some Monday comments as I react to some of the top comments last week on some of the videos. The first one by Nonetheless by Significantly V. He said, as a Browns fan, I'm hoping you get him actually. Will enjoy kicking your ass. He was talking about getting Shadur Sanders, and I don't know what he's talking about kicking our ass for because the Browns haven't kicked anyone's ass in years. So he's a delusional Browns fan. I don't know what he's doing here, but keep watching. I don't know. I think Shadur Sanders can beat the Browns twice a year. I don't think we ever really struggle too much beating the Browns. I know last year was kind of we lost one. We did lose one. I'll give them that. But come on. Come on, little brother. The Browns are the Browns for a reason. Stay in the toilet bowl. You're never going to the Super Bowl. That's all I got to say. Uh, The next two comments, once again, about TJ Watt. The TJ Watt slander is going kind of crazy in the comment section. I can't really believe it. But BMJ said, don't overpay TJ, get a younger player on rookie contract or free agency. And DM Lion said, just said it, every year he goes down 3 years for 60, 33 guaranteed. I guess and those numbers are the contract. I don't think you'd be able to get TJ to sign that contract, $20 million a year once again. Don't think that gets the job done when someone like Miles Garrett's getting paid $40 million this year. You got to get him. I'd go 2 years, $60 million. Keep the number, but 2 years instead of 3 years. And then the 33 million guaranteed. I think that might be able to get the job done. Now the injury bug has bit TJ in the past couple of years. Not really though. He's played every game. Sometimes he goes down early in games and misses the rest of them. But over the past 2 years, he has 17 games played in both seasons. Now, 3 years ago is when he had that big injury, that big time injury where he missed 7 games that season. But since then, he's honestly been the most healthy he's been in his career. In the first couple years of his, I think the first 5 or 6 years of his career, he missed at least 1 game, 1 or 2 games. So technically, the past 2 seasons have been his most healthy seasons. So I feel like we got to get the job done. I don't know why people are slandering TJ and just get a younger player or in free agency. No one in free agency is going to have the talent of TJ Watt. No one that I see in this year's draft or next year's draft has the talent of TJ Watt. You never know. There are sleepers, but no one has the Watt last name, and the Watt last name seems to be the gift from the gods and you're able to be a generational talent on defense for 10 plus years. And I just think it's delusional to want TJ off the team. But seems like that's the way the fan base is starting to lean, at least in the comments below. I've seen that. Now, I'd love to see some TJ supporters get in the comments below so we can talk about you guys some more. But since it's only been some haters, let's talk about possible TJ trades to wrap this episode up. TJ Watt, the first one, these are all going to be quarterback trades. Just let me know in the comment section below which one interests you the most and what sounds the most enticing. But TJ Watt for Brock Purdy is one I saw out there. Now, do we think Brock Purdy is able to flourish outside of the Shanahan system? I can't guarantee anything like that. He's had a bunch of all pros around him. I think if you got a little bit more with Purdy, like a second and third round pick with Purdy, I don't think that would be the trade. I don't think the 49ers would give that up, honestly, but I'm not too enticed for a one-for-one Purdy for TJ trade. I think we'd be kind of getting a little fleeced right there, even though Purdy has showed that he could lead a team to the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's because of the team he was on and the schemes he was running with that Shanahan system, or if it was actually Purdy elevating the team. I'd like to say it's the former instead of the latter. So I'm not that interested in Brock Purdy, poor TJ. TJ for Dak is a little more interesting on my hand. Dak has proven to be a great regular season quarterback his whole career. Uh, Maybe for Dak, kind of like what people say for Tomlin, it's time for him to change his scenery a little bit and go elsewhere because he hasn't been able to perform in the playoffs that well with the Dallas Cowboys. I think if he came to the Steelers, it'd be a great fit with our team. He's mostly been a part of running systems and then airing it out with play actions that fits the Arthur Smith system very well. I think Dak Prescott would be a phenomenal add to the team, but does he take us to the next level of playoff success? Probably not. He hasn't showed he could do it his whole career, so why would he change his ways now? So, honestly, don't think he's as gifted of a throw of the ball as TJ is as of rushing the passer. So, I think it's still a little bit of a downside on that trade. And the last one, haven't seen rumors about this, but this is the one I've kind of come up with in my head that might be the most interesting for me because this could be a long-term solution and to our quarterback woes and maybe 10 plus seasons he could play for us. But TJ for Trevor Lawrence from Jacksonville, I mean, he didn't have the best of seasons last year, but Trevor Lawrence could be a franchise quarterback once again. He was drafted to the Jacksonville Jaguars to be that franchise quarterback. I think if you bring him to a more stable franchise like the Steelers, he'll really blossom into the next chapter of his career and be a successful winning quarterback once again. But let me all know what you guys think of those trade options in the comment section. I've been your host, Cole Dennis. This has been Steelers Latest, and I'll see you tomorrow.